G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Druk's Milan Unboxing. At Ankersville, Connecticut, at the Mohegan Sun Casino, we're going to have a middleweight bout as well, and it's Charlo time. The Charlo twins are on. I've talked before about Jermall Charlo and Jason Rosario fighting for all the marbles at junior middleweight. But at middleweight, we have other Charlo, Jermall Charlo, Jermall Hitman Charlo, 30-0, 22 knockouts. And he will be taking on the technician, the man from the Ukraine, Sergiy Derevyanchenko. Now, this is a very, very interesting fight. Jermall Charlo will be defending his WBC middleweight championship, if you recognize him as a WBC champion, because that title was held by Canelo Alvarez, and they've elevated him to franchise champion, which to my mind makes him the top dog and the real WBC champion. But anyway, there's a WBC belt at stake in this alphabet madness, and it's a really compelling fight. Jermall Charlo is undefeated. People are looking for a marketable B-side that can bring star quality to the ring against Canelo Alvarez, because the Zone would once it, Golden Boy wants it, Canelo wants it, because everybody is suing each other now in court, and as we all know, only people that win there are the lawyers. So we really desperately need a marketable B-side for Canelo Alvarez, who is not called Golovkin, and may that man just be Jermall Charlo. Now, I think most of the boxing world, myself included, we are really rooting for Jermall Charlo to deliver a signature performance and do something big against Sergiy Derevyanchenko on Saturday night, so that the drums can start beating for eventual showdown of Canelo. But the question is, can he do it? Now, Jermall Charlo has been a champion in junior middleweight. He won that bout by knocking out Cornelius Bandridge, made 3 defenses, moved up to middleweight, and then picked up the interim WBC belt, and he got elevated from there on. Now, he's won 2 fights. On his last 2 fights, he looked quite impressive, but it was against lesser opposition. But before that, he fought Matt Korobov, a durable Russian that's promoted by Top Rank. You remember we saw him against Andy Lee. Lee found the punch to knock him out. That's quite a while ago. But Korobov, southpaw, gave Jermall Charlo quite a lot of trouble. He boxed in and out and moved at awkward angles. And he gave Jermall Charlo a lot of headaches. But Charlo, to his credit, in the last round, he sort of buckled down and he put his punches together, and he hurt Korobov, and I think that pulled the decision out for him, or helped to do it. So Charlo, both Charlos, in fact, they are kind of, they have a talent, athleticism. They've got the heavy hands, but they don't put things together consistently round after round. You know, they blow hot and cold even in the course of a fight. And another guy I've said that about before, another talented guy, is Daniel Jacobs. Now, Daniel Jacobs fought Sergiy Derevyanchenko. There was only 2 losses on Derevyanchenko's 13-2 pro ledger. Remember, he has a deep amateur background that they have in the Eastern European countries. Came in his first title shot against Daniel Jacobs. He lost a split decision. Now, Jacobs is also a guy sort of who never quite puts it all consistently together, though he's a talented guy. And then in his last fight, Derevyanchenko took Gennady Golovkin, also for the IBF title, to the absolute hell and back, and he put on a terrific performance. But in the end, he lost the razor-thin decision. Some thought he should have won. I thought Golovkin just squeaked by. And in both those losses, Derevyanchenko got knocked down in the first round, and I think that's what hurt him as well. So Derevyanchenko is a slow starter. He's vulnerable in the first couple of rounds, but as his nickname suggests, the technician, he's very, very solid, as you would expect somebody from that amateur background to be. He works very nice angles on the inside, like he did against Golovkin. He punched him, punches and punches, then step around, step around, step around, and that way he could sort of outfight Golovkin in spots without getting into trouble himself. And that is what he's going to have to do. There's no other way he's going to beat Jermall Charlo. He is going to have to stay on the inside, and he's just going to have to work over Jermall Charlo. And Charlo's going to have to be at the distance, and he's going to find the shots to hurt Derevyanchenko. This is another fight. All 3 of these fights over weekends are pick-em fights. Derevyanchenko to me, is by far the best test that Charlo has faced as a middleweight. And it's the ideal opponent because this will tell us where Jermall Charlo is at. Because Derevyanchenko took Danny Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin to the brim. And there's many that say that he's going to beat Charlo. He's the underdog, but there are some insiders that's going with Derevyanchenko on this one. I've also went this way and that way on the fight. Derevyanchenko, if Charlo has an off night, if he performs like he did against Korobov, he's going to get beaten. But Derevyanchenko is much more conventional style than that Korobov is. And if I'm Charlo, I would jump on Derevyanchenko early because we know he's vulnerable. That's when he goes down. See if he can knock him down and see if he can keep him down, if he can take him out early. I would try and do that. I don't think Derevyanchenko is such a big puncher that he's really going to hurt Charlo. He does have 10 knockouts in his 13 wins, but that's against lesser opposition. I think he's a little bit deceptive. So if I'm Charlo, I would go and test Derevyanchenko early, jump on him, try and see if I can get him out of there. If not, then he's going to need to settle the boxing rhythm. And who's going to win? To me, Derevyanchenko came close twice. As I've said, Charlo is not consistent round after round, but same thing with Daniel Jacobs. And against Daniel Jacobs, he just couldn't get over that final hump. And same against Golovkin. And is Charlo as good as Jacobs or Golovkin? That's what we're going to have to find out. But I suspect, I don't think Charlo is going to have that signature win. Derevyanchenko is too solid for that. But I do think Charlo is going to do just enough to get over the hump and win a close decision. Possibly score another knockdown early. I just don't know if he can keep Derevyanchenko down. And I think Derevyanchenko is going to have his moments in the fight. I think it's going to be a terrific fight that we as the fans are going to enjoy. But I think Jermall Charlo is going to retain his WBC belt on a close decision on Saturday against Derevyanchenko. But let's see, that's why they fight the fights, like the editor of Ring Doug Fisher always says. And please give the channel a like and a subscribe. And until we see each other again, remember to keep those gloves up.